Do you guys want to win 80% of the time, or do you guys want to checkmate someone in 12 moves, or do you want to promote a queen once again in a game? So folks, this is the opening just for you if you want all of those things. And this opening is called the Ponziani opening. This opening starts with e4 and then e5, the most aggressive lines in the game of knight to f3, attacking the pawn, and they will so likely protecting the pawn with knight to c6. And so folks, we go to the next move of the game. We need to go pawn to c3, because now we're gonna try to build up for this, and that is called the Ponziani opening. Bishop to c5. There are a lot of lines here. Instead of just going to bishop to c5, there's that line, and of course there's this line, and even there is even this line. If they go bishop to c5 first, we will go pawn to e4, having this big center. Okay, it is no joke that this is the second most popular move in the whole chess community. I don't know why, but they just move here, and which is a big disadvantage because if they take back, we attack their bishop, and so they see it as a threat. They must check so that to gain in tempo, at least not to waste the move, we will go knight to c3, trying to develop another piece in the game. They will go knight to f6. After that, this bishop will be left hanging over here or win their tempo back. Well, folks, it's not good for them because we're gonna go pawn to d5, attacking their knight, choking their knight up. They cannot go here because of the knight, so they must go over here. So the opponent is suffocated in their game. We'll just develop our bishop after that, and so we get the big advantage of us developing while theirs not. If they go over here, pawn to d6, then we'll just go here. This is a very natural move to get them to go wrong, and so we can just literally fork them with that. It is a check and it's attack to the bishop. So they must move their king or just try to cover their king. And so if they do that, we'll just take the bishop. And so we just won material on move 10. So folks, that is how you win with this line on the Ponziani opening. What about the other line? e4, e5, of course, developing the two knights, and then of course the iconic pawn to c3. What if they go pawn to d6 instead of bishop to c5? We go pawn to e4, attacking the pawn on e5, and if they go here, we just get this big center yet again. The same lines open up here, and it's a very easy opening to learn through because it still has the same pawn structure and the knight structure over here on this side of the board. But now what are we gonna do after the line of this, since the bishop is not here and this pawn has moved? And so we would go pawn to h3, lessening the chances that they might go here, and instead they can go here. So folks, they have two choices. They can take the pawn on d4 or take the pawn on e4 with a knight. So folks, let's move on first on the knight taking the pawn on e4, and if they take the pawn on e4 with a knight, we'll go pawn to d5, which attacks the knight on c6. A lot of times here, there's gonna be a fork because after this is a fork. I mean, this is a natural fork already. So folks, if they go here, keep in mind this fork. So in this opening, there are a lot of forks. We forked a bishop a while ago. Now we forked the knight and the king. So folks, this is a very useful opening than just using the fried liver, because the fried liver is easily countered, while this one is actually more better. There's another line. Of course, I'm gonna show you the other lines, which is knight to f6, attacking our pawn yet again, but without the pawn here. We go here, the same setup, having this pawn structure, but that's why it is easy to follow. So they would go here, knight to e4. We would go pawn to d5 and then try to attack the knight so that we can get more space with this pawn. And if they go over here, there's a lot of traps gonna happen in the next couple of sequence, because after this we take the pawn on e5 and we're just constantly attacking the king side over here on this side of the board. And when that happens, they might go here and try to take out that annoying knight, because it's very annoying, because after that we get bishop to b5, which is a devastating blow, because after those moves you can even promote into a queen. And let me show you how. So folks, if they go here, we can just take to the pawn. So folks, let's look at the first line. If they take our pawn with a knight. So folks, if they take our pawn with a knight, we'll just go and take the knight with a knight. And then after that, they would take the knight on c6. And then we would take with the bishop. That's a fork. That's literally a fork. To the rook, to the knight, and a king. That is one of the most disgusting tactics I've seen so far. Because of the fact, you're literally triple forking the knight and the rook. So they might cover with this. The problem with that is, what do you take? The rook or the knight? The knight. Because of the fact, if you take with the rook, you're gonna trade your bishop. And so that's plus 3 points for you. But if you take the knight for free, then you get plus 4 points. Plus 1 point. So you just can take the knight and have more material and still win in the game. You get the most advantage, plus 3 points according to the computer. But what about the other lines? What about if they go queen here? A mischievous move to literally checkmate us to get distracted. So the first move we'll do is first to take the pawn with a pawn on b7. And that is a check. So folks, they cannot checkmate us because that is a check. They must move their king, right? Or cover their king. But there's another option. What if they take our bishop? Well, that's easy, bro. Because when they take our bishop, well, then we'll just queen. And there's no checkmate at all. What the heck is this queen looking at? What if they don't do that? And instead move the king, trying to get the checkmate what they deserve. But there's another trap for them. We go knight to f7, and that is a check, and a fork to the rook on h8. And that is a clean fork right there. So if they move their king, we could maybe even take the rook. No, we cannot, because this is stalemate. And here is the mischievous line. Pawn 6, a8, and we promote not into a queen, but a knight. We fork the queen and the king together. Because if we promote into a queen, that's made in one for you. So I'm not gonna let you guys do that. So instead of promoting it like queen, we're gonna go promote into a knight, and that's a fork. So if they move their king now, we'll take this, and this still attacks, so they must move this, and they cannot take this. And so folks, we just won so much material, plus 19 points. That is too much. You will literally win 100% time after this line. And so, what happens if they go pawn to d5 instead, attacking our pawn on e4? It's a different approach. We'll go here, try to pressure the knight over here, pinning the knight. They cannot move their knight because of the fact that their king will be taken, and that's illegal. So folks, what if they go and take our pawn on e4? We cannot take their knight because of course a knight for a queen is unfair. And so if they take this, we'll just go over here. Take the pawn on e5. The same lines with earlier, but this time without not us taking the pawn over here on this side of the board. Instead, we take the pawn on e5 with the knight. So folks, if they go bishop to d5, reinforcing their knight because it is being attacked by two pieces now, well then we'll take the bishop, and then if they take our bishop, we'll just take the pawn and we get a free pawn and a check, and also their bishop is getting pinned. And of course, after these lines, we'll just play normal chess. We actually have the advantage according to the computer here. As you can see, it's plus 1 point advantage according to the computer here. So there's a chance of you winning here, the most advantage of you winning here, and yeah, you are winning here. But just don't blunder the other sequence of the game, okay? So folks, a winning line. Let's go on to the other lines, see what happens. So folks, we'll go back to this line because I forgot one more line over here, and there is this line. If they take our knight instead, well then, they are losing to the advantage because after this, that's a check. They will attack. If they go here, well then that's mate in two because after pawn 6, c8, promoting into a queen, our bishop is pinning their queen. And so, they cannot do anything. The best move for them is to take the queen over here with the knight. But now it's mate in one because of this. They might go here being smart, going to go bishop to d7. Well folks, we're gonna take with a bishop, and so if that happens, we check them. They got no choice instead to take the bishop with the queen, and so after that, we'll queen. So they might cover it first with the knight on c8, and so we'll trade their queen first, and if they go here, now they got an exposed king, we got plus 12 points, plus we got a promoted pawn into a queen at the end of the board. What the heck? That it is literally on, and it's literally just on move 12. And that is literally how you win with a Ponziani opening with those lines. Which is over here. What if they go back instead of going here? Well then we'll just do the same thing. If they go here, develop their knight, well then we'll go here and attack their knight. Well of course, but what if they go here? Try to attack this, while also having this. Oh, but it's protected. But yeah, you get the point. If I go here, you cannot go here. Because of, if we go here, we cannot go here. Because of the fact that it's protected. Why would you trade a knight for a pawn? And so they would go here. And we'll just literally, from then on, try to break their center of the board. And yeah, we're just winning after that. We got plus 1.7 points. Oh yeah, okay. So what if they go here? This weird line, f6. Well then folks, we'll go bishop to b5, challenging their knight more. And if they protect it with another knight, well then just take the pawn on d5. If they take it with a queen, not trying to undefend their knight with another knight, then we will just go pawn to d4, trying to counter-attack their pawn on e5. And so after that, folks, we'll just play normal chess. We just got the advantage. We have the most dangerous lines over here, folks. We're just winning. So, folks, there's no doubt you can play this opening. I suggest you really try it because there are a lot of destruction with this opening, and you might win a lot of times with pawn expansion after these lines because this is literally the second most popular opening. I mean, why wouldn't they play it? It's a very natural move, and then they boom. They just get wrecked with the pawn on d4. So, folks, I suggest you try it. If it doesn't work, I suggest you go on Deep Theory, see on the computer what's happening, and maybe you can see mate even there, even more traps. If you do, can you just please comment me down below what are the traps, and I might do a video on it on a deep calculation analysis. So folks, see you guys in the next video. Peace out. I hope you guys liked the video. And if you did, please like the video. Please subscribe to motivate me to make more videos like this. Peace out. And also, I would recommend you to try out my new videos, my other videos on chess, and you will see there's so much more openings that you can try like this on winning more chess games. So folks, I dare you to try that out, those videos, check it out. So folks, see you guys in the next video. I think that's it. Peace out.